past 2 days have seen chaos in the Whitetail woods. We filled some tags, but those who didn't got the first real taste of the rut. Now we begin to focus on fine-tuning our strategies with the goal of being in the right place at the right time when things really break loose.
Well, we made it back up in here. We're out this evening on our river spot. We're coming in trying to hunt for this buck I call Clyde. Myself and Mike hunted down on the creek yesterday, and we saw one of the bucks at a distance that's been with Clyde, and he came up through this river bottom that we just walked through and up on top of this big oak ridge before going into that bedding area. So we decided to come in tonight and do a hanging hunt. It's pretty risky, but on public land, right about the 1st of November, the pressure really starts to ramp up. So we're right back here in their bedroom. There's a lot of does in here, so I'm hoping we're close enough to get Clyde up on his feet before it gets dark.
"500 miles to the east, Ohio's Drew Mclain takes advantage of information he gained from his trail camera to make his first aggressive move of the season.
The day is October 30th, and Zach and I are once again back on this bean field. The rationale behind why I always want to come up here is this is where all the does have been coming to these standing beans, and this time of year, my philosophy's always been you find the does and you'll start finding the bucks. I did check the cameras before we came up here, and we had one of our hit list bucks, a buck we call Narrow 9, coming out in front of this blind, checking a bunch of does. They're just moving like crazy right now. All the cameras are showing almost every single one of our shooters. It seems like we're settled in for the evening. We got a couple hours of shooting light, and looking forward to this. 110. Take it. 515. That's good.
We just had a little buck run a doe and 2 fawns right down here below us. Seen a couple turkeys. The deer definitely moving early this afternoon. We're right back in here up against their bedding area, so they probably feel comfortable moving back here most of the day.
Smoking it, yep. Keep an eye on it. He's gonna go down right there. He's done. Holy crap, October 30th. Zach thought he heard something right there. Look up. He's standing like 15 yards. Thank you, Lord. Good job, buddy. That's what you like to see right there. Unbelievable. I can't tell you enough about when you start getting a buck going into daylight come late October, and you know he's in the area. Get in there and hunt it, play the wind, and hopefully it'll work out for you. But you know, when you target specific bucks and you know they're on your farm and they're mature, it's just so rewarding to get your hands wrapped around. I'll tell you what, pretty cool.
The Cabela's Instinct Accelerator rubber boots are my choice for the rut. They're perfect for temperatures ranging from 30 to 60 degrees and have an aggressive tread pattern on the bottom of the boot, which makes climbing into tree stands a breeze. A lightweight muddy tree stand with their backpack straps and 4 to 5 quick sticks is our go-to setup for doing hanging hunts on public land. It's not only easy to hang, but it packs in quietly and allows us to set up fast when we find the perfect spot. A quick Scott Archery tip is to try their dual caliper release when you're connecting directly to the string. The wide jaws allow for little margin of error and help you clip on fast when you've got a big buck coming into your setup.
Eastern Iowa's Mike Reed is hunting a farm close to his home. The landowner has asked Mike to help him control doe numbers, but Mike also has the green light to take a mature buck.
Well guys, it's Friday, October 30th. It's the official start of my rut vacation. I came in here, got access in July, and put in a few food plots. I'm hunting about 75 yards away from a big and beastie plot that I'm getting pictures of, a really big, mature, just nice buck. So the bucks are cruising. I've had 6 different does come through the food plot here. I've got a little over an hour, maybe about an hour left, so I'm just gonna sit back and see if this big mature buck, he's the only buck on the farm that I know of that I'll shoot, so we'll see if I can either lay eyes on him or maybe even get a poke at him.
The evening of the 30th is an eventful one, just no mature bucks. With vacation time ahead of me, I'm looking forward to hunting hard for the next 2 weeks on my new farm.
I just got done talking a little bit ago how this would be a perfect spot for calling. I waited until about 30 minutes before dark when the wind kind of laid down so that the sound would travel better, and I hit the rattling antlers. I was real aggressive for about 20 seconds and put him down. Within 2 minutes, we had a good buck come in. I would have liked to have got Mike a shot at the deer, but he come in pretty quick on us and came around the back of the tree where it's hard for us to switch. Still cool to see him though. Definitely encouraging to know that calling works in here.
Well, Clyde didn't show up that night, but as it turns out, I may have missed an opportunity at a shooter buck in daylight. On our way in, we walked right past the tree stand and trail camera that Clyde had been showing up on, pulled the cards after the hunt, and while we were up the ridge 200 yards away, a shooter buck walked right by the tree stand in daylight. Sometimes that's the way it goes, but November is ahead of us, and we've got the rut to look forward to.
Mike Reed's go-to food plot on the farm that he's helping to manage is Big and Beastie from Frigid Forage. It's easy to establish, grows fast, produces a lot of forage, and the deer like it throughout almost every phase of the fall. And then as the winter really comes in, the hard freeze changes the chemical composition of some of the plants and the bulbs themselves and makes them a lot more palatable. So you got a food source here that is easy to grow and is attractive throughout the entire fall and winter. Hoyt's carbon bows have become extremely popular over the last few years. The bows are light in weight, and they're very sweet shooting because the carbon actually serves to deaden the vibration and the sound of the shot. You can kill any deer on the planet with one of Hoyt's aluminum bows, but it's a lot of fun to carry one of their carbon bows into the field. Ground blinds can be really hard to hunt for a bow hunter because your selection of possible shooting windows can be limited. That's not the case with the redneck, and that's one of the main reasons that I really love these blinds. These vertical corner windows are perfect for bow hunting. You can take a long shot or a close shot without any worry about the arrow hitting the edge of the blind. Realtree makes a number of accessory products that you can find in the Real store at realtree.com. One of the ones that we use a lot is their Easy Hanger. They're perfect for stowing gear in the tree stand and for hanging your bow so that it's conveniently within reach. The next day, Jared and Mike make a move that takes them deeper into the home range of the buck named George Brett. It is the spot where Jared got photos of the deer earlier in October.
What about this? Did you have your bow? This is priceless. Why are you saving that branch? Cracks me up. That branch right there is hiding. They're gonna want to see pictures.
I haven't seen him yet this year, but I'm hoping he's gonna come back sometime.
Oh, that's the story. He's not living on the neighbors anymore.
You're going.
You should start these at him, bring him out here. Maybe he'll just come out.
Don't move. Well, it's about 5 o'clock here on Halloween night. Mike and I are set up in the tree. We've been set up for probably 45 minutes to an hour now, but we just had a 4 or 5 year old, definitely a mature deer, a buck I call Slingshot. He came right in, he popped up out of the brush, and I had Mike snort wheeze at him just so we could try to get some better footage. He came right in, came about 10 yards behind our tree. So it's cool to see a mature buck on his feet, 4:40 in the afternoon. Obviously not a deer I'm shooting at this point. Pretty much holding out for one deer, and that deer is George Brett, the deer I had a lot of encounters with last year. He's back this year, and he's kind of my one and only target at this point, I guess. So we're in what I would call his home range, not his core area. He spent a lot of time a little ways away on a neighboring property. But as far as when he spent his time on this farm, we're definitely in the zone. So the first picture that I got of him this year was 30 yards away from where we're sitting. So we have a little bit of hope that we might see him tonight. The conditions feel right. Obviously, mature bucks are on their feet. So we'll see what happens. It was kind of rainy all night, and it just quit around midday. So hopefully they're moving well. We'll see what happens tonight.
The afternoon hunt for Mike and Jared produced a great encounter with a mature buck. Unfortunately, it just wasn't the right mature buck. Small bucks are starting to chase. It is a good sign that the breeding season is drawing near. Trail cameras have become a super important part of our hunting strategy now. On the new Muddy trail cameras, we have fast trigger speeds, time-lapse mode on the ProCam 12, and very crisp, sharp nighttime images. So you can tell what you're looking at. These are all factors that help us to better identify and pattern the bucks that we're hunting. It can be really tough to figure out which tree stand to hunt when you've got light and variable winds. You hate to go into your best spots because you don't know when the wind is going to swirl or switch and kick your scent in the wrong direction. One of the precautions that we use when we hunt on these types of conditions is the ozonics unit. It eliminates enough of our human odor that even if the wind does swirl, we don't feel like we're spooking any deer. I've been shooting the fuse sight since 2008. Pins are super bright, extremely well protected and durable. I've never had a pin break, even though I drag my bow through all kinds of brush, and I can't say that about some of the inferior sights I've used over the years. Fuse sights are bright, durable, and accurate, and there's not a whole lot more I can ask for from a sight. I'm not a deer biologist, but the ones who I have talked with have explained the importance of trace minerals in the diet of deer. So having a supplement like Trophy Rock, whether it's in the rock form or the new 465 ground mineral, is the perfect supplement to improve the health of the deer in the area where you hunt. Halloween has come and gone, a day that historically produces many buck kills for me and my friends. Warm weather kept activity levels suppressed as bucks clothed in winter coats were slow to move without the coolness of night. I sat out the past few days, taking care of business and clearing my schedule for the weeks ahead. The rut is not a sprint, but a marathon. I am ready now for the starting gun to sound. I have waited all year for the weeks that will come next, when I will once again be chasing November.